be online, real time vote.
Okay.
So we would either hold the entire election preceding to the 5 o'clock the day before the meeting via, mail out ballot.
Okay.
Or the people who are present could vote in person, and the people online will have already cast their ballot. So just be like you do in kind of any election, like there's the same day voting, and then there's voting
Yeah.
absentee
I
voting.
just didn't want it to take the annual meeting to be consumed by
Correct.
the voting
Yeah,
thing.
you have to
So
have the
that way the
logistics worked out.
business can stay business, and that is its,
Yeah.
okay.
Sometimes our communities would just go to strictly online voting through the time of the meeting, like an hour before the meeting. And it's still voting, it's still online, but everybody gets to consider ballot. Sometimes we can do a hybrid. It's just a question of just making people feel most comfortable. Whatever you guys ultimately determine your community is most comfortable with. At the end of the day, the old theory is everybody gets a chance to vote as long as they either show up or sent in their ballot prior to the due.
Okay,
And
thank you.
there's the only certification, the only requirement to be a voting member is that each economic unit.
One precinct.
Yeah, whether you're in, whatever community you're in, is the vote for your, so
One vote per house.
Yeah.
2413 bowls gets one vote.
And if you have 2 homes, a lot and a home, of course you pay dues twice, you get 2 votes.
You get 2 votes.
Husbands and wives vote for 2 different candidates, can be tricky, but that usually becomes a problem. So those votes can be canceled because of that reason. So you want only 1 vote per household.
One vote per
We have
economic
that,
unit.
we have that husband and wives vote for the same candidate, and then we understand that intentionally. It's just
One seat, we have 3 seats.
2 candidates.
How do you do that with the open lots then?
I'm sorry?
How do you take a vote for the open lots?
Open lots that have been turned over to a homeowner is not part of our homeowners association.
They're
So,
still paying dues.
No, no one pays a due until they have a home on their lot. If there is a house that has 2 lots, one lot that has, I've got this lot plus a second platted lot, I'm expected to pay more, but I still only get 1 vote.
That's just one.
I mean,
No, we're fine.
I appreciate that.
But there's 3 seats.
And so.
There's 3 seats.
The items that we've talked about.
So we should get 3
there,
votes per household.
I've gone 16 minutes past my promise of an hour.
There's 3 seats.
What I'd like to offer is that.
They need to
based
clarify
on
that.
Agenda items that we've discussed already, if there are additional comments that we need to discuss at this point in time that require the board or require Mr. Miser. Yes, sir.
On the annual meeting, what is the percentage of the membership that must be in attendance for it to qualify as an annual meeting?
10% is our quorum.
10%?
10% by our bylaws.
That's according to the bylaws, there is a 10% quorum in the bylaws.
It's not unusual. I mean, 10% is usually reserved for even larger communities, but definitely we have communities with 10%. And that just means you can hold your meeting. It doesn't mean that you want 10%. You would like to have a
We're
representative
gonna
of
encourage
50+%.
Just like when we put the signs out, we notify both with the sign and put it on the portal for this board meeting. The law requires us to do it in a conspicuous place.
Yeah, because I believe it's 10%, that's what I've read.
And you'll have a proxy opportunity too. So a person cannot attend a meeting in person or by phone, but wants somebody to be there to represent them, we'll have the ability to sign that proxy to sign.
Another question. April had a very good point. Since we are dealing with an ad hoc board, how many positions are going to be?
I don't know the answer. I don't know that it is or is not an ad hoc board. If a board was
They've titled themselves up.
if they were duly appointed by the person with the authority to appoint them or elected in whatever manner, then they're not
appointed to the board, prior to the transition, that was me. And then was
Then
forced.
there was an
and
election that was held.
There was an
So-
election that was held. and
With
there was
that,
a-
I think all three positions should be up. That is my personal request.
Okay, cool.
And that can be something that can be put onto the agenda for the board to discuss, because that we are in a board meeting currently, then we are not in an annual meeting thing, okay? So that is something that can be added onto the next agenda for the board to discuss. All right, and, look into and do, and we can see if there's any records of, I know we did the election, okay, it was all turned in, it was all done, by mail.
Do you have staggered terms in the
Yes, and then,
1, 2, and 3 years.
So that's the point of that's the point, is each election, the entire board is not designed to come up, because the idea is if you want some history and some continuity, that's at least the way most boards are structured, so.
And our discussion right now is not to discount the pieces of information that have been brought forward by the membership about items in our own bylaws or from the state. But we're gonna look at those and be very, very, we are going to adhere to the rules of the state, to the rules set forth both by our bylaws and by the state. We've had difficulty with it based on interaction with the mechanism that helps us do it. And by guidance that we received either in,
Did you have a meeting last year, a year ago, Jim?
we had it in March.
Or in March? That was your annual meeting too?
They missed the one, the next one, so they missed a number of meetings and places, this comes from a time when there was no transparency. It was,
yeah, and it was
so all
done,
we've done is try to bring these issues to the light. And
but that, it was done via Zoom, the last annual meeting.
And you could do that.
Yeah, and it was.
Without
so there should
notification
be
to the
records.
membership,
there was
though.
no vote, there was no election during that,
No,
during that meeting as
meeting,
was
there was
required.
not.
And we knew that.
I see.
We tried to get the right things set out by our management company and put in. So we're trying to right this ship, trying to do all things correctly. Any more
Yes.
these are questions on the agenda?
April.
Yeah.
Can I just ask, do you have any interest in just procuring, in our bylaws, section 2, terms of office, at the first annual meeting and all subsequent annual meetings, thereafter the members may nominate and elect directors for such terms as needed. So, in my experience, that means that all positions run annually, meeting to annual meeting, and that all of them will be up for election.
There's a term schedule, staggering initial election term of 1, 2, or 3.
Yes, that's what,
Trouble bringing it
how
up.
we are, yeah.
We got set, but
Yeah.
Yes, it was 3, 2, and 1.
As needed, we refer back to whatever that commitment was, whatever the term schedule is. Again, sometimes it's 2 and 1 alternating. If the terms are 3-year terms, then it's 1 every year. And then usually they initiate with the initial group being elected, having been assigned 1, 2, and 3-year terms so that the rotation starts right away. So again, I feel like I'm not completely informed yet about that history before I give you guys any advice, but we are certain there's going to be a meeting, an annual meeting. We are certain that there will be elections. We are certain that certain things are going to happen. Now we need to backfill that with some steps.
Yes, I agree.
and I expect you will probably send out 2, if not 3, pieces of correspondence to reflect that.
Do you have a date picked yet, or we just, I guess since you didn't know for sure it was going to be January?
Yeah, I
Not
don't,
a date picked yet.
I'm not putting you on the spot again. Right?
well, we'd have to find out if the venue is available,
Sure.
because that is a very popular venue.
Is it better to do it like on a Saturday morning or evening or noon? What's the history?
Traditionally, it's been an evening meeting during the week. We've never done a Saturday or Sunday in the Yeah, I would, no, you don't know, okay?
Maybe you just target, maybe target
It's a-
2 dates and see what venues are available.
Yeah, it's really the venue, I think that's the hitching point, which dates are available, because there's not a lot,
Right.
available to us.
Let's target the week of the eighth, following is a holiday on that Monday. So,
Okay.
we'll target the second week of January. The first week usually is bad because it's following the holiday. The second week is
Wednesdays are usually
January.
bad.
And, so you have the 8th and 12th to target.
Well, I will, see if I'll call, Harris Community Center and see if there is availability and costs.
The schools away, you still target.
No, none of ours do that I am aware of that we can meet. That's been a really hard,
Churches as well.
we can throw it out there to the members.
That's pretty big.
Is there
Yeah.
any additional,
No.
Mhm.
any additional questions, comments regarding agenda related?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
You brought up many times, forgive me, I'm new to the whole process and everything. You brought up many times that the previous management company was fired. Cool. The new management company, are they related to in any way, shape, form, business? And no offense to anybody, but relatively or business sense or co-joined or any way financially related to the previous company?
In fact, to answer that, we had a number of requirements, and we went all the way to Austin to find that management.
Well, why am I sending my check to Las Vegas then?
That's
It
just,
was whatever their methodology.
that's the lockbox. That's like a credit card where you send your Visa card there. I mean, it's a lockbox for the bank. The banks have
Well, that could be
lockboxes.
why you guys lost my check. All right.
They do a pretty good job.
I wasn't trying to cause a dispute, I just,
Good question.
Based on our company, it's like, I cannot get the app, download it on my phone because it's outdated. So,
Your phone's outdated?
no, your business says, it's only good for the old Android, not for the newer version of Android.
Again, I think that's not a problem. Again, just give me a second, when the meeting's over, I'll try to handle it as an individual person. I'm not a technical guy, but we don't have a problem with, we don't have a problem with that, that I know of. That's, I guess, I'm not, but we'll fix your phone. I don't know why.
For those of you that came in, after the meeting had started, if you could please sign in on the sign-in sheet, just so we, do, and in case, we have to look back on a name who had a question, that would be very, very helpful. Those will be included in the minutes.
Can I ask who you both?
I'm Marion Gilbert.
Okay, and you are? You both live up there? In High Crest?
Yes.
this ain't your guy.
You good?
Arch
Oh, good.
Yeah. I'm at the high school.
What time's dinner?
Here in a little bit.
We have no new business and no old business to discuss at this point.
Other than what we included in our minutes for the future agenda items.
Well, given that, the board meeting on October 23 is adjourned.
Is it over?